Guys, if you like my videos, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. Before you dive into this episode, we recommend checking out the first part to stay up to date with all the events. The link to the first part will be available in the description and comments below. But if you're already in the know, get ready for new twists and thrilling moments. Enjoy the show, and don't forget to leave your comments to let us know what you think about the story's development. Let's go! Sheriff Ruff stood outside the bank, feeling a sense of unease. He knew something was off about his encounter with Belle. The sheriff sensed that something was brewing, and he needed to be on guard. If something were to happen, he might not be able to handle it alone. Suddenly, Amber, Ruff's landlady, walked into the building. She was the one who had found him on the streets of the arena. I might tell you more about that in the next episodes. Upon entering, she noticed that Ruff's looked tense.
"What's going on?"
she asked. The sheriff explained the situation and said he needed backup. Amber immediately offered her help, but Ruff's was very protective of her and didn't want to risk her life. Her outfit also didn't quite fit the task at hand, but Amber was persistent and promised to return in a different outfit to help her dog guard the bank. She gave her word and left, and Ruff's was left alone, but feeling more confident. Edgar and Tara knew they couldn't go on the heist looking the way they usually did. First of all, if the brawlers and organizers recognized them, they wouldn't be allowed to leave the arena with the money, and everything would fall apart. Secondly, the fans might recognize them and report them to the police at the first opportunity. They needed a new look that no one would recognize them in. They would change into disguises specifically for the heist, and then just get rid of the outfits afterwards, so no one would know that Tara and Edgar were involved. This would allow them to escape with the money and live a luxurious life in peace. Belle agreed with their thoughts, but she didn't have the money to buy them anything. Tara said she had 2 bags of money at home, and that would be enough for 2 new outfits for her and Edgar. So they anonymously ordered 2 handmade costumes, specifically for the heist from a secret website. They had to wait 2 days for the delivery. Meanwhile, Belle suggested that the brawlers go and fully survey the bank area. She would do it herself, but after the morning incident with the sheriff, no one would let her near there. At that time, Amber was in her room thinking about her new outfit. She was looking for something in the Spanish style to look as elegant as Spanish women in their traditional attire. So she took her tablet and started searching for a suitable dress online. She needed to place the order as quickly as possible so that she could go and help Sheriff Ruff's. Meanwhile, Edgar and Tara had already entered the bank and started to explore it. Sheriff Ruff's didn't expect to see Edgar and Tara on the bank's premises because neither of them used that bank. He was ready to kick them out, but Edgar knew they needed time to survey the area, so he began to distract the sheriff with his antics.
"Hey, Ruffs, I hope you're not planning to kick us out."
Edgar asked.
"I don't understand what you're doing here. After all, you don't keep your money in this bank."
Sheriff Ruff's replied. Tara continued to inspect the buildings and finally found a tower where Belle could take cover and watch over them from above.
"How lucky I am not to keep my money in this bank. With such security, anyone could steal them."
Edgar continued to provoke the sheriff. Such words made the sheriff angry. He drew his gun and ordered them to leave the premises immediately.
"Sheriff, calm down,"
shouted the brawlers, seeing how the sheriff drew his gun. Ruff's was very angry, and the brawlers had to leave. But Tara managed to survey the area somewhat. The sheriff was not stupid, and he understood that something was wrong. They would never have come here just like that. He definitely needed help, and 1 Amber would not be enough. Besides, it was not certain that she would come. He contacted the organizers of the arena and requested assistance. He needed a very serious fighter just in case. The organizers suggested Colt, but as it turned out, he didn't have the time for it. He was constantly fighting to earn more money, but he offered his grandfather as a candidate. When Colt became a brawler, he bought a house next to the arena for his grandpa. But the old man was incredibly bored, and over the years, he learned to shoot revolvers even better than Colt. It was his only entertainment, to which he devoted every day. The organizers agreed that Colt's grandfather was perfect for the job, so he was invited to help Ruffs. The old man was thrilled with the offer. It didn't take long before he was standing outside the bank. The old man immediately began guarding it.
Aha! So that's what he looks like. Now I understand who Colt takes after and what it'll look like in old age,
thought Ruffs upon seeing Colt's grandfather. They introduced themselves, and Ruffs asked his name. Grandpa replied,
Sheriff, call me Gunslinger. Grandpa Gunslinger, or just Colt, Grandpa. I'm the best shooter in the whole West. My grandson has a lot to live up to,
proudly declared the old man. Ruffs felt better, as with such a grandfather as a partner, no one could rob the arena bank. However, Belle had a completely different opinion. Another day passed, and the Golden Hands gang was ready to rob the bank. Belle knew the bank's approximate layout and was confident she could pull off the heist of the century. Tara and Edgar went to get dressed, and after 5 minutes, they reappeared in such outfits that even the most devoted fan wouldn't recognize them. Belle was impressed by their appearance, especially Tara, who looked like a real bandit. Belle said she was now certain she had made the right choice in partners. They planned to carry out the robbery on a dark night. Under the cover of darkness, they headed for the bank. When they approached their target, they saw an old man standing in front of the entrance. It turned out to be Colt's grandfather, who came to help and stayed at the bank even at night. This was a serious obstacle to their plans.
Let's wait until he falls asleep,
suggested Tara.
No, we need to hurry,
objected Edgar.
I don't want anyone to get hurt,
insisted Tara.
All right, we'll wait.
Belle and Edgar finally agreed to the proposal. They spent over 5 hours at the entrance, waiting for the gunslinger to finally fall asleep. Edgar and Belle were very unhappy as it was almost daylight, and they had not yet begun the robbery. Finally, when the gunslinger fell asleep, the robbers decided to start the heist. But suddenly, a horse on the bank's property saw the robbers and cried out in fear. Grandpa Colt opened his eyes. He looked around, but saw no one. Belle had managed to climb up the tower, while Edgar and Tara hid below. Belle was very angry with Tara, as her waited-out idea had ruined their plan. Morning had already come and Grandpa Colt had not slept a wink. Belle had Grandpa in her sights and was about to fire to knock him out, but suddenly 8-Bit entered the bank's property. 8-Bit didn't notice Belle and her hidden accomplices and continued moving forward. It turned out that Brawler kept his money here and 8-Bit had come for one of the bags. Belle couldn't take it anymore. She aimed at 8-Bit and fired several shots. The shots were so powerful that 8-Bit fell apart. This frightened Tara and Edgar, who were shocked by Belle's actions.
Why did you shoot 8-Bit? What did he do?
Edgar and Tara were confused. Now the robbers can't leave the scene of the robbery. The whole heist is in danger. They won't be able to just leave now. Belle didn't intend to destroy 8-Bit's body. She only meant to knock him out, but she underestimated the power of the shot. The gunslinger jumped up and in a panic tried to understand where the shots were coming from. When Belle shot the old man, he saw the flying bullet. To knock it down, Grandpa fired back.
I know you're sitting there like a rat. Come down immediately,
he shouted. Belle was shocked by his reaction and felt fear for the first time in her life. This bank was different from the one she had robbed before. Other banks had ordinary people, but here were real fighters who were just as strong and capable as she was. She understood that if she exposed herself, the gunslinger could easily injure her. Belle needed the help of Edgar and Tara.
Edgar, we have to help Belle. Gunslinger is very dangerous. We can't let him hurt Belle,
Tara exclaimed. Edgar and Tara immediately emerged from their hiding place, and Gunslinger began to lose confidence when he saw them. He knew it would be difficult to fight against the three of them. He couldn't handle it alone. Edgar was serious about fighting and began to attack. Gunslinger fired a few shots, but Edgar was able to defend himself using his scarf. Tara threw her cards at Gunslinger, while Belle, from the top of the building, shot at him. We hope you enjoyed our animated story today. You saw that Grandpa Colt found himself in danger, facing off against the robbers, and it's important to know how he'll overcome this challenge. In addition, the murder of 8-Bit has raised many questions. We are eagerly anticipating what this will lead to in the next episode. What will happen to our story's heroes? What adventures and trials await them? Don't miss the thrilling conclusion in the upcoming final. Subscribe to our channel to stay updated on all the new episodes. Thank you for your support, and we'll see you in the next episode.